Needed. A short story for you. In the streamlined, sleek, small room, the walls illuminated light. Stacy leaned on the flat, hard surface of a built-in bed, and she was asleep. No, don't go, Ted, she groaned and mumbled. Mom, no, I'm sorry. My fault, I know. You took the shortcut like I suggested. And then quickly she woke up. Her whole tired body ached in her dirty, torn pajamas. Plain-looking 30-year-old Stacy was agile and nervous. She had an expressive face. Then Orr came through the door. Startled, Stacy sat back against the wall and trembled in fear. Tall and lanky, Orr looked about 30 years old and out of place, wearing dark slacks and a light blue polo shirt. With long blonde hair and sparkling blue eyes, his complexion was tanned. It's you. You were wearing black. Orr nodded. You broke into my apartment, followed me. Orr nodded again. In the college library, in the bookstore. And Orr kept nodding, agreeing with her. The parking lot, the river. Looking around, she became frightened and wanted to cry, and gulping, she breathed fast and hard. Orr had a blue headband in hand. It looked shiny and metallic with diamonds sparkling around it. Oh God, where am I? Who are you? I am Orr from Pleiades, a special envoy. I apologize. My tracer malfunctioned. Apologize? She was puzzled and gulped. I could not pinpoint your position. I don't believe this. I'm on a spaceship? You're an alien? She looked around the strange room. Yes, please let me explain. I'm all ears if I have them. She was feeling her body as she curled up in a ball. I will not harm you. He sat at the end of the bed. Your genius is not appreciated here. Stacy made faces and confused and was biting her lower lip. Your designs and plans are excellent. You will make an excellent planner and leader. And Stacy's eyes rolled around, confused yet fascinated. The Rax were forced off their planet of Rakias. An asteroid destroyed it. They are settling a new world. They can use your expertise. I was going to help them, but it is time for the Earth to ascend, and I am needed. I have been called to assist in the transformation of humanity. We promised the Rax we would send someone to help them to build a new world. Me? Surprised, Stacy shook her head. I have studied your designs. You are perfect. You have designed cities, schools, and homes. It's just a hobby, she shrugged. I get ideas. She kept staring into his kind, warm, light blue eyes. Exactly, he smiled at her. You are a creator, and you are sensitive to the needs of others. Very perceptive. And Stacy started snickering. It's a chance to actually build your plans. You can help build a society with them. I don't believe this, she snickered. I'm going to wake up. She slapped her own face. I'm only one person. She looked directly at him. Wait a minute. What kind of creatures are they? Humanoid, like you. There's other humans in the universe? Indeed, Orr nodded. You share the same evolution, but they do not speak English. He handed her the headband, and Stacy stared at it. It's the TL, a translator, so you can understand each other. And Stacy stared at him. You're not human? I needed to blend in. I am humanoid. We share the same DNA. What are you? Stacy gulped, staring at him, and did not fear him. His alluring eyes made her feel more comfortable. Pleiadian, another dimension. You must be so advanced. Stacy shook her head and puzzled and shrugged. I'm not anyone. I haven't done much right in my life. You are unique, and you really don't belong here. You know that. But I have a life here. The Rax know this. They will understand. Orr stared at her. He was right about her. She was a loner, a maverick, and never really fit in. Stacy sighed. Far out. I don't believe this. She laughed. Do I get a ship to go there? Orr cocked his head at her and stepped out of the room. Shaking her head, Stacy slapped her face again and stared at the headband in hand. She put it on her head. Making faces, she started laughing. Outer space, wow! They'll never believe this. She felt she never lived a day in her life because she was a dreamer and wanted to go to Hollywood to write and make movies. It sounded so fascinating, though. Her fear had drained out of her, and she got excited. Orr came back in a room with a thick belt, and a strange cylinder instrument was in a holster. Where are we? Stacy looked around. At the bottom of Canyon Lake. He handed her the belt. Uh-huh. Blinking and she let it go over her head. She stared at Star Wars. What? Nothing. She looked at him. Or sat next to her to explain the belt. This is the TB, teleporter belt. This is the clock to tell you how much time has elapsed. He pointed to a small computer in the buckle, and then pointed again. This will transmit you to the new planet. Beam me up, Scotty. Stacy smirked and scratched her dirty, tangled, short brown hair. And blinking, or stared at her confused. Never mind. It can transport you to the planet. How far is that? The next solar system? Oh, sure. It went over her head. Next door neighbors. Yes, you are very open-minded. Stay that way. What is this, a weapon? Stacy examined the belt and the instrument. It is a tool to build with. Everyone here will have one very soon. He took the 9-inch long tube out of the holster. It was 2 inches wide. It is an RP, replicator. Hold it between your eyes and above the third eye. Envision your idea what you want. Turn this protruding middle ring here onto the right. Hold it to an open area and your image will appear. I will demonstrate on the planet. Shall we go? Now? Alarmed, Stacy's brown eyes widened. He looked directly into her eyes. It is not convenient for you? Stacy was looking at herself. I'm a wreck. I'm filthy. I need to clean up. I'm starving. All right, I will take you home. Stacy stood up. I must be out of my mind. What day is this? She sighed. I believe you call it Saturday. In a blink of an eye, Stacy and Orr appeared in Stacy's small, cheap apartment. The living room was cozy and comfortable. A few sheets of paper were strewn on the floor, had spilled out with floor plans on them. Stacy realized how tired she was. She turned to Orr, and he was always calm and happy. Take the belt off. I need to show you something. Did you slash the tires on my car? She took the belt off. He looked at her. Yes, it was necessary to slow you down. I will repair them. He went outside. Sighing, Stacy set the belt on and went to the bathroom and looked in the mirror. I must be out of my mind. Totally lost it. Quickly, she washed up and changed clothes. She grabbed an energy bar and gulped it down. Orr came back in and took the belt. And Stacy ran her fingers through her hair, watching Orr. Is this going to hurt? No, but you will become dizzy and disoriented. Oh, God, she said. The first time you use this, it must be calibrated to your spine and DNA. What's this, a spaceship? Teleporter with special enhancements to travel through space. Orr put the belt around her waist and got behind her. Do you mind? Okay, she said sheepishly. Hold the belt for a minute. He aligned the center of the belt that had a circular violet button on both sides of the belt with her lower spine. We just have to make some Leibot adjustments. He pressed the button hard into her vertebrae. His warm hands felt good to Stacy, making her relax. Breathe deeply. Relax, he told her. What's Leibot? Your light body. I noticed some pictures in your bedroom. Who are they? My mother and ex-husband, she snapped in disdain. Stacy felt more relaxed and looked at Orr. Wait a minute. We can't go through the roof. This system functions on other principles, he interrupted her. Do you want an explanation? Gulping, Stacy stared at him and shook her head as he fastened the belt around her. Let's just do it. Soon everyone will have one of these for transportation. Now you must keep a positive attitude and love in your heart or it won't work. Worried and biting her lips, she nodded. I will be with you. Okay, she tensed in apprehension. Orr took her hand and had her press the button on the front of the buckle. Just relax and let it happen. I'm trying. Her voice was cracking, almost crying. And Stacy felt tingling all around her body as her green aura emanated out of her body. She noticed tiny green lights sparkling all around her. Then her body was engulfed in a huge circle of all the colors of the rainbow. And then she disappeared. In an open field near a lake, 2 energy fields floated down to the surface. Orr and Stacy's faces appeared in the fields. The light fields evaporated into them, and they appeared. Stacy's eyes were squeezed tight as she opened them slowly. She wobbled around, dizzy and groaning and disoriented. She sunk down to the ground. Oh, my God. She wiped her face, looking around. Where the hell are we? A new planet. Orr reached down to help her up. It has tremendous potential. No civilization? Standing up, Stacy looked around and noticed the lake down the hill. It was a beautiful day with a few clouds above in the bright blue sky. Birds and small squirrel-type animals were scurrying around. It's natural state. Orr nodded and looking around. Go ahead, try the rep. Make a small table. Stacy took the device out and put it on her forehead, but Orr shook his head and took it from her. See this purple circle mark on both sides on this end? Make sure this end is against your third eye. He stood close to her, placing it there, and turned the center knob to your right. Then he put his other hand on her heart. Focus and visualize with compassion and love. And Stacy could feel his compassion, and then followed his instructions. Do you want me to explain the mechanics of the device? She shook her head and visualized a beautiful little coffee table. A light of ray shot out of the other end of the device, and the table appeared. And nodding, Orr looked up and felt 2 spaceships were in the vicinity. They're coming. What? Stacy looked up. I must go. Turning to him, Stacy felt a strong tie to him and didn't want him to leave. Will I ever see you again? Perhaps. He cocked his head at her. You will do well. You are the right choice. He smiled at her, and Stacy felt tears come to her eyes. He really did look out of place with the clothes he wore, and reaching out, she adjusted his shirt collar. Indeed. He was sure. Earth is going through some drastic changes now, and they need my help. Stacy nodded and smiled. 2 things you need to do. You are not responsible for your mother's death and your divorce. You need to forgive yourself. Ruth and Ted did. And be patient. I know it's my worst trait. She shook her head, not able to look at him, and then she looked up at him. How did you know? You talk in your sleep. It's okay. Let it go. These beings need you. Orr looked up. Stacy turned around and saw the 2 spheres. Spaceships. One was blue and the other one silver as they descended slowly over the area. Her enlarged eyes followed their descent. Gulping, her heart raced and realized what an opportunity she had. It was a brand new start. She turned around to say thank you, but Orr was nowhere in sight. Yes, you are needed too. You have a path to follow. Thanks for listening. And more free stories are waiting for you.